Good morning. Welcome back to Sugar Beast Gifts Decor More. Excuse my look. I'm sorry, I don't get dressed up for these videos. I figure this is the way I look, you know, most of the time, unless I have customers coming over, and then I do somewhat put a face on. But this is the real Amanda. This just, I don't see the point in putting makeup on and doing, you know, the whole 9 yards if I'm just gonna sit here by myself. So but this video is an update. A few days ago I did a video on the peanut not really versus the Peggy Stitch Remover, because I did not purchase the Peggy Stitch Remover. I did a review on the peanut in lieu of the Peggy Stitch Remover, and at that time I didn't have a firm grasp on it. I wasn't doing I wasn't using the correct technique to remove the stitches properly, but I feel that after playing with it and tinkering with it a little bit more, I know how to use it correctly now, and I'm not having buyer's remorse about the peanut anymore. In case you didn't see the last video, I was trying to remove some stitches from a hat as well as a shirt, and it was going okay, but it was a slow progression, and I didn't feel that I was getting much further than I would with my my seam puller. So I tinkered with it a little bit more, and I feel like I know what I'm doing. I got the peanut at Sally's Beauty for $40, well, with taxes it came out to $40. Now at that time they were running a $7 off sale, and I want to say that the peanut, and this is the plug-in version, this is not the cordless version. The cordless version was not on sale, and it was $80. So I think this one was $49 before the sale, and then it brought it down to under $40. See, that can't be right. I'm sorry, I don't have my receipt for this. I mean, I do, but it's over there in a stack. Whatever price point it was at before the sale price, it rang up $40 and some change. Like I said, this is the plug-in, this is the corded version, but I feel this was well worth it. I've got another piece here. This is a jacket I did for my daughter last winter, and unfortunately this little pocket on the inside kind of wedged its way under the stitch, so I had to remove some of the stitches then. She's been wearing it since, but she is my daughter, and this is my work that she's walking around with, so I don't want her to walk around with this anymore. So we're going to remove the stitches from this jacket, and it is a 100% polyester jacket, windbreaker type material. Let me tilt you over a little bit more just to make sure I don't get you out of focus. But what you do is you start first with your seam stitch, or with your peanut, removing your bobbin stitches, your back stitches, your lockdown stitches, and then get that to a point where you feel like you're satisfied to start to flip it over and pull some of these threads out, and then see where you're at. The key to the peanut working correctly for you, you're going to kind of go in a sawing motion. You're going to move that blade back and forth, like kind of like a sketching motion, but that is the key to removing those stitches. I'll go ahead and turn this on and show you what I'm talking about. Let's see if I can keep you in focus here. See what I'm talking about? I'm moving it back and forth. You still have to be a little bit cautious that you don't dig into the fabric, and I find it's better if I hold it like this. And as you can tell, that is the line I just removed. And I'll do another for you here. It's a hacking, sawing motion that I'm doing here. I'm not putting any pressure down because I want to be wary of digging into the fabric of the jacket. I just want to cut at those stitches. Remember, every time you get done using your peanut, and I'm sure it's the same with the Peggy Stitch Remover, clean your blades out and oil them. Don't over oil them, but you don't, I especially try to keep mine oiled, as well as all my machines, because I do work in my basement and it's more prone to moisture and humidity, and these will rust up on you. You know, once they rust up, it'll, oops, so I turn it off. It will take you quite some time to get that rust off. And now we have that. So let's flip it over. I'm gonna grab some tweezers here, and we're gonna start taking some of these stitches out. See? It just comes out so nicely. Now these stitches, it was all a satin stitch. It would have been fairly easy to remove, but still it would have been a lot of picking. I've had some designs that I have sat, and there were so many layers, you know your your base layer, what have you, tight stitches that I would constantly sit and work on for 3 or 4 days. And if you're doing this, you know, as a profession to make money, that's taking a lot of time away from other jobs or delivering that one job on time. So this is going to save me a lot of time. I recommend that if you do machine embroidery, that you have something like this on hand. I looked at the Peggy Stitch Remover, and I've heard a lot of good things about it. It's just, I could not, I'm looking at it, you know, considering it when I was shopping for the peanut, but I'm sitting there looking at it is just a beard trimmer. It is the same thing. Although I wouldn't buy a cordless because I don't see where it would have the power that a corded one does, just because it's running off batteries. But I was really considering it. But all I could see was, I mean, my stepdad used to use this to trim his beard. I always saw this in our bathroom, and I just could not see myself paying $80, $100 for something that was exactly the same. I was like, well, maybe the blades are different. They're not. They're not. They're exactly the same. And if you care for this, keep it brushed out, keep all that lint out of there, keep it oiled. It will last just as long. Now, this is probably not going to be covered under the wall warranty anymore, because I'm not using it for its intended purpose, which is to trim hair. So that means take extra care of it, make it last. Now, I'm sure you don't have to get the peanut. I'm sure you can get another corded trimmer that is just as good and just as powerful. They had a lot of them available at Walmart when I was looking for the peanut. But you do not have to spend hundreds, $80 to $100 on the stitch remover when other trimmers will do just the same. But as you can see, oh, look how far we've gotten. I mean, granted, like I said, this is a satin stitch, so it probably wouldn't have taken an hour or so, but I just cut that time in half. And I can't complain about that at all. I mean, look how easily that removes. I mean, that's just... Whoever the person was that said, hey, let's use a razor to remove these embroidery stitches to save these people some time, bless your soul, because this is the best thing since sliced bread. I wish I hadn't thrown the hat away that I took the stitches out of. It was a tight 2-color stitch. It laid completely flush on the hat, and plus the hat itself, you know, it was a structured hat. It wasn't a flat bill, but it was a pretty stiff hat. So it was a challenge, but this thing sliced right on through it. It was awesome. But you can see for yourself here. I used the peanut. It's great. It was $40. I think you can probably get it cheaper on Amazon, if not the same price. If Sally's is not running the sale anymore, or if you don't have a Sally's available to you. I know there are tons of beauty supply here in the Atlanta area, and a friend of mine works at one, and they sell them as well. They're catering to the barbers. Cosmetology supply, if you have a license and you're able to get in there, or if you know someone, I'm sure you can probably get a better deal than even I did. If you're a Beauty Rewards member at Sally's, I know you can get an even bigger discount, but you have to be a licensed cosmetologist there. I used to use my grandma's, but since she passed, I don't use it anymore because I'm not a licensed cosmetologist. I'm just an amateur cosmetologist. But you have the extra cash to spend, invest in either the Peggy Stitch Remover or the peanut. I recommend the peanut. Save yourself some money. Don't spend all your bank in one place. But this is going to help you so much. Mistakes, I know, are far and few between, but when they do happen, you need to be able to rectify them pretty quickly and pretty safely, and I think you can do both of those with this. So that's my update on the peanut and removing your embroidery stitches. I will try to think of some more videos to come to you with to save you some money and save you some time. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and this is Amanda, out. Bye.